I'm Kelly McCord, and I own and operate Pillar Scientific Supply. I've been in business since about 1998, been incorporated since then. I started out as just a woman-owned, hubs-owned company that sold laboratory supplies to the government, to businesses. But because I am the only scientific supply house in Oklahoma, I had a lot of parents, I had a lot of teachers coming in. They would be looking for different supplies for everything, the whole gamut of science. And what was really striking to me is that the parents had no clue what all science entailed for their child, what they should know, and teachers usually came in with their own money because they didn't have the supplies at school. Now, not all schools, obviously I'm talking general, but what really got my attention was the scores. And most of my parents, most of my teachers were talking about, they were just trying to get these scores up because they're dismal. The problem I think started is because we were telling textbook writers, look, let's try to write stuff where they don't actually have to do physical hands-on experiments. We'll have a few, like the proverbial dissection of the frog, but mostly we're going to try to learn that the way electricity travels from the book. It just won't work. I mean, you don't know that until you raise up that and see that switch and see that light bulb go off. So my original intent was just to write a 5th grade curriculum and include all the supplies for these teachers that they could teach out of a kit with 1 to 20 students, and they could keep that thing forever and just replace the consumables. And I thought I would drill this PASS, which is the priority assessment, the first test the state gives to 5th graders. And that they would pass that PASS. That was and they would have fun learning it, and they would have that foundational knowledge. So the 5th grade was finished. I took it, but no one wanted the 5th grade without the other 4 grades. So it was either throw away hundreds of hours or add thousands. There just wasn't any option. So I spent 17 years writing this. I also owned Old Trinity of Paseo Event Center, and I own Pillar. I quit bidding, but I still have my customers, so I just really focused on that. But when you have 20, 30, 40 plus products in each teacher's kit, you've got to have a way to assemble that and do a prototype. So that's what 3810 has meant to me. I worked out of a shop. I worked out of a 24 by 36 shop, which is great, and I was able to write the books. I got the Xerox, I was best friends with Shutterstock, and we did the pictures, and I just had a real nice time in there doing all that. However, when you're actually assembling products, you don't really know how it's going to work out until you assemble them and you put them together. And although as I was adding products, I would buy 1 or 2 just to see if it was the quality I needed, if it would hold up to what I'm thinking is going to happen to it in a school or a home or a charter or any kind of teaching setting. But there was not enough to buy 20 of this and 20 of that and 20 of this. So in looking for a place last year, I looked at places in Edmond. I looked at buildings to rent. The problem was I was so overwhelmed with buying hundreds of items and worrying about a building, worrying about the insurance, worrying about the rent, because it's always a triple net. I do have a commercial building I rent, and it is a triple net. I would be there except the building isn't large enough. But with 3810, I have been able to assemble these products, get them where I think they can pack out right, and it's not just 5 teacher grades, it's also 5 student grades. And they have their book and different products that they need individually. For instance, there's an owl pellet in 5th grade along with a small dissection kit. I need every 5th grader to open that owl pellet and see what that thing's eating. So I didn't want to just put one in teachers, and I don't know how many of these teachers, so that was the reason for doing individual kits. I put them in backpacks, but 3810 has allowed me to lease a space small enough to assemble basically 10 kits and see how it's going to lay out, see how my accessory kits are different than the main product kits. And then when I start rocking and rolling, it's taken a lot of time, but all of the misery of paying the electric, of watching, is anybody breaking into my build, all of that has been taken out by having this incubation space. Plus, when I enlarge, and I am really confident I can have this whole side. So the people here are just great. They've got my back when my products come in, or I'm needing to be out making delivery, or when my people are just in here. We can come in on Saturday and Sunday and still feel secure. So I believe the difference of 3810 to me is the success of my business. I can't imagine all that would be on my back and on my shoulders without this space to develop and hone and process a dream.